www.999wefm.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Courts, we've got you. Save $1,000 on a Midday 30 cubic feet side-by-side fridge. Or maybe you're ready to turn your home entertainment up a notch. That means a larger TV. We've got you with an LG 70-inch Smart UHD 4K TV. Excited about making your new home feel more like you? We've got you. Get the Perth 3-piece living room set with a cup holder for only $4,999. Or shop Ashley Furniture Clearance for great deals and free furniture pieces today. Need a better mattress for more restful sleep? We've got the size and comfort that's right for you. Save $400 on a Restonic Comfort Care Pillow Top Queen mattress. Shop today and pay later. Whatever you need, we've got you. With up to 30% off store-wide. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene. As the start time for construction on the acute referral hospital at Annesville draws closer, the search for land to facilitate the relocation of Poliad residents continues. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, during a call to WeFM's Issue at Hand program on Sunday, noted that while it's not necessary for the residents to be relocated for the purposes of the hospital's construction, it is being done simultaneously as part of the government's overall push for a modern city at Annesville. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
Well, Poliad, I have the chief surveyor looking for lands, and we're identifying places where we can do things for the Poliad. It's not necessary for Poliad to be relocated for the purpose of the hospital, but the government has taken the decision to do it within the context of the overall modern city which we would be building there. So we are also working on that simultaneously. We may find some lands in West St. George, but we're not going to find all the lands at one place.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, speaking on WeFM's Issue at Hand program. The acute referral hospital is to be constructed at an estimated cost of US $98 million, with more than $80 million going towards the construction of the hospital and the purchasing of necessary equipment. The remainder will be used to strengthen healthcare resilience through a system of reforms across the health sector and project management and consultancy fees. The Standing Commission of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement has awarded Mrs. Dora Atheline James with the Henri Dunant Medal in 2024. This is the highest distinction of the movement. Mrs. James is awarded the recognition for her outstanding contribution to disaster management, first aid, education, and acts of great devotion to the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement at the level of her national society and beyond. Mrs. James's nomination was supported by the Grenada Red Cross Society. She is the first person in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to receive this recognition. The award will be bestowed in Switzerland later this year. Mrs. James joined the Chateaubriand Red Cross as a junior member of the British Red Cross 50 years ago. She continues to serve the Red Cross as a volunteer, having recently retired as the Director General, serving voluntarily in this capacity for 7 years. This honor comes even as the local Red Cross celebrates 75 years of service to humanity this year. Still on the local scene, while discussing the development of the health sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said that the government is looking to have 1 or 2 psychiatrists on special contracts. The Prime Minister, who was at the time speaking on the Issue at Hand program, said that this would lead to the government paying more than was set out in the budget line. He said that the lack of psychiatric professionals not only negatively affects the field of psychiatry, but also puts a significant dent in criminal justice. We hear more from Prime Minister Gonzalez.
We are seeking to recruit, but it's difficult to get. I've concluded that we have to get a psychiatrist or two on special contract, and we just have to pay them more than what is in the budget line. Because that doesn't only affect the psychiatry program, but it also affects criminal justice. You get the point in terms of assessments of persons. Somebody has to, you have to get a report as to when the state of a person's mental health. Somebody mounts a defense of insanity to a criminal offense generally, or mounts a defense of diminished responsibility in relation to murder, which would reduce it to manslaughter. You need a particular psychiatric evaluation.
That was the Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves speaking on WEFM's Issue at Hand program. Prime Minister Gonsalves also noted that the option of psychiatrists providing their services virtually is being considered. On to news in the region. Grenadian Prime Minister Digon Mitchell has called for the removal of Cuba from the list of countries labeled sponsors of terrorism by the U.S. Prime Minister Mitchell also called for an end to the economic blockade on the Spanish-speaking nation. The UN General Assembly in November 2023 voted by a large margin against the U.S. economic and trade embargo against Cuba, first imposed in 1960. A total of 187 UN member states voted for the resolution put forward each year against the embargo, with only the US and Israel voting against and Ukraine abstaining. The Assembly voiced concern that despite its resolutions dating back to 1992, the economic, commercial, and financial embargo against Cuba is still in place. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has welcomed the establishment of a transitional council in Haiti tasked with choosing new political leadership and setting up elections in the crisis-torn CARICOM country. In a statement issued on Saturday by his spokesman, the UN chief welcomed the publication of a decree formally establishing the Transitional Presidential Council, which is tasked with choosing Haiti's next prime minister and cabinet. Further, the statement said Guterres takes note of the functions of the Transitional Presidential Council, including working with all members of the international community to accelerate the deployment of the Multinational Security Support (MSS) mission authorized last year by the UN Security Council. Last Friday, the Transitional Presidential Council in Haiti said the political agreement had been finalized between the different political, economic, and civil society sectors which constitute it. On the international scene, oil prices fell on Monday after Iran's reprisal attack on Israel over the weekend. Brent crude, a key benchmark for oil prices internationally, was lower but still trading close to $90 a barrel on Monday morning. Prices had already risen in expectation of action by Iran, with Brent crude nearing a 6-month high last week. Analysts said the markets would be looking to see how the conflict could affect global supply chains. Oil price fluctuations can cause ripple effects across the world due to countries being heavily reliant on the commodity, which is used to produce fuels such as petrol and diesel. Fuel and energy prices have been a major driver behind the higher cost of living worldwide in the past couple of years. According to the BBC, when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, oil prices soared to $120 a barrel over supply fares as Western nations imposed sanctions on Russia, one of the world's major oil exporters. The jump led to not only higher prices at the pumps, but also countless other goods as businesses adjusted their prices to cover higher costs. Analysts said Israel's reaction to the attack would be key for global markets in the days and weeks ahead. Finally, in sports, Shafiq Maloney has broken the long-standing 1,500-meter track and field record for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which stood for 30 years. Making her senior debut in the women's 1500 meter at the Tom Jones Memorial Invitational, Shafika surpassed the previous record of 4:20.78 set by Bigna Samuel in 1994. The new record is now set at 4:15.30. Maloney wrapped up the event with her showing at the 800-meter race. She finished the race with a time of 1:59.97. This meet was created in 2008 to honor the late Gators track and field coach Tom Jones. Jones led Florida's men's track and field team for 15 seasons as head coach and led the team to 15 top 10 appearances in the indoor and outdoor NCAA championships. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save $1,000 on a Midday 30 cubic feet side-by-side fridge. Or maybe you're ready to turn your home entertainment up a notch. That means a larger TV. We've got you with an LG 70-inch Smart UHD 4K TV. Excited about making your new home feel more like you? We've got you. Get the Perth 3-piece living room set with a cup holder for only $4,999. Or shop Ashley Furniture Clearance for great deals and free furniture pieces today. Need a better mattress for more restful sleep? We've got the size and comfort that's right for you. Save $400 on a Restonic Comfort Care Pillow Top Queen mattress. Shop today and pay later. Whatever you need, we've got you. With up to 30% off store-wide. Quartz, bringing value home.
Have you ever heard about Logs Cash and Carry? Well, let me tell you, Logs Cash and Carry provides retail products at affordable prices, making them competitive with major supermarkets. Logs Cash and Carry also provide wholesale on some products, mainly from Log Enterprises. You can get toiletries, cleaning supplies, shortening, margarine, wholesale drinks, and canned goods at competitive prices. Logs Cash and Carry is located at the top of Fountain Stretch, VG Highway. Our opening hours are Mondays to Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Logs Cash and Carry. We look forward to serving you.
A storm or hurricane can cause extensive damage and tremendous loss. There can be flooding, land